For those that have not been able to move up, for those that have been stuck in a place, they don't feel like we care for them. And I've heard this with my own ears. I've also heard complaints, or I've also been told that what I'm doing or what we're trying to do is a waste of time, and that I'm idealistic, I'm unrealistic, I'm a dreamer. I generally don't believe in zodiac signs, but I am a Taurus and I am a bull when it comes to our young people. So I will not tolerate that kind of negative thought and that kind of negativity. It's important that we surround ourselves with people who will give us fuel, and I'm like a cold-blooded assassin when it comes to taking somebody out that's toxic. I will remove that person from my life and walk by like they never existed. Because we have to preserve the goodness within us, right? We have to do that. We went on a national tour with that music video, and we made presentations in Philadelphia, Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, Boston. This was when the video first came, when we first produced this. This was in 2012. Martha's Vineyard, White Plains, Harlem, Oakland, and San Francisco. I was actually on Fox and ABC in Cincinnati and on public access in Philadelphia. We did have a major game changer though during the course of this tour. On Monday, July 23rd, 2012, while I was on that business / vacation in San Francisco, I was surfing the internet. My wife is in a sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha, and we were there for the conference. And I was in the hotel room with my daughter, and waiting for my wife to come back doing what she was doing. And as I was surfing the internet, I came across a story that just crushed my heart. A little 4-year-old boy, Lloyd Morgan, was struck and killed by a bullet 2.5 blocks from my school. I immediately looked at my daughter, who was exactly the same age as that boy, and felt such a sadness. I went on right after and shot out some emails to political leaders, educators, pleading, because our school, PS 463, at the time, we had a ridiculously dilapidated gym. And I wanted to use that gym to help to transform that community. So I sent out emails to these people asking them to help us rebuild that gym so we can help to transform that community. The city councilwoman at the time, Helen Diane Foster, she felt my pain, and she responded with $500 million in her capital budget for the next cycle. New gym floor, fiberglass backboards, padding around, scoreboard speaks is dope. I mean, she did a great job. They did a great job. I don't have a lot of time. I think I'm kind of even over time. I'm good? All right. Before the funding came in, we began to put things in place. I started with a self-assessment. What were the things in my life, in my past, that contributed to my success? My goal was to try to create for the children of that community the wonderful things, the good things that I had in my life at the time when I was growing up. So, as I mentioned, basketball was my thing. So one of the things that we did was create a basketball leadership program. We also created a boys club, and that boys club evolved into a scout troop, 777, Lucky Sevens. And we also created a Girl Scout troop, which we got support from the New York Yankees to do that. We formed a basketball league with the support of the NBA, and we used the fathers in the community to be a part of the league. And for many of the fathers, a lot of those guys are still hanging out on the block, right? So what we did by giving them a position as a coach it gave them status in the community, and it gave them a sense of pride that they never had before. And you can see the difference in terms of how they moved about the community, and that's part of our vision, to make sure that we identify leaders, encourage our parents to step up, take on roles inside and outside of the school, all right? As counselors, that's part of what we do. We have to inspire and motivate where we can, who we can. But the parents are the backbone of what we're trying to do. This education system was not created in a way where parents are not to be involved. But unfortunately, in today's world, that's the case. We know that out of 9 out of 10 people that we know that are successful, those people are successful, not maybe a couple because of their parents, because of their teachers or guidance counselor or principal or coach, but most of the people that we know that are successful because of their parents, right? Correct? Parenting is not a strong suit in many of our schools and many of our communities. So how do we compensate for that? We have to, again, identify leaders, encourage leaders to step up and do more. And we all have to do more, and that's the bottom line. One of the ways that I've been able to determine how we need to blossom is I took a look around the summer last summer. And do you remember block parties? Did it come from an era where there used to be block parties? Remember that? I saw one block party in the Bronx last year. One. So what does that mean? That means there's no leadership on the block, right? There's no one on the block trying to organize people to get involved. That's basic leadership. Basic leadership. And we have to encourage basic leadership on the grassroots level. Because it's hard we look at our current situation with 46-1, the current commander-in-chief. And we can't mobilize people and drive people to places to even vote if they're not doing basic things on the block, if they're not coming to PTA meetings. It's hard to move people if they're not accustomed to moving, right? So we have to start as low as we can. A couple of the projects I'm gonna mention that we've been involved with. 2 years ago, we started a program called Ignite, Empower, Transform. And that program is a cable show that we produce out of BronxNet. And what we do in that program, we showcase people who we consider urban superheroes, people like Natasha, who impact communities in a positive way. We've actually had her on our show. Our program has actually adopted her archery program as part of our Saturday program. That's one of our additional, and we've seen the tremendous impact that's also having on our young people, instilling in them a sense of accomplishment, training, showing discipline, and focus. And so I encourage, if you are not familiar with that program, I do encourage that you check it out, because it definitely is a dope thing. April 28th is National Superhero Day. Did you know that? April 28th is National Superhero Day. And it's also my birthday. Every April 28th, we have what we call the Urban Superhero Awards. And on the Urban Superhero Awards, what we do is we honor people, local people that are doing what we consider God's will in the community, doing the right thing. So we showcase those people. And our most recent project is, we're approaching Black History Month, right? In February. So I'm of the mindset Black History Month is every month, right? So, but for everyone else, for most people, it's February, right? So what we have been doing is we've produced 30-second videos, 30-second PSAs, public service announcements, for Bronx Black History Makers. And one of those Bronx Black History Makers is a very dear friend of mine, Assemblyman Michael Blake. You've heard his name several times today. Michael Blake, who we hope to see here today. Michael Blake For those of you who don't know him, he was very instrumental in electing the last president I recognize, Barack Obama. He was a field operative, particularly in Iowa, because Iowa, if you remember, was the election that catapulted Barack Obama into national prominence. Time magazine cited 2 people being most responsible for that victory: Barack Obama and Michael Blake, right? So he's that kind of leader. And he's very special, and we have him in the Bronx. He's our assemblyman. I'm very close with Michael. He's my daughter's godfather. I mean, he's family to me. But I'm gonna leave you with that. I think we need to encourage leadership within our schools, but we also need to support leaders that we feel can make a difference. And I think Michael Blake is one of them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you again, Hosea Givans, for your tireless efforts and work with your Give Back organization. And we need people like you. You know, we need people like you to keep dreaming and keep showing up for these kids. It does take a community to foster growth and integrity in the children, and these programs set in place in communion with student counselors and teachers ensure a solid foundation for productive development. And these children are very lucky to have these opportunities. So moving forward, we're here? Okay. Yeah. Real quick before we go to the lovely fun part of the morning. Again, we found a cell phone. Did anyone lose a cell phone? Yay, here it is. Wait, what's the passcode? No, I don't know. You're welcome.
Facial recognition.
And did everyone get a chance to exchange a card? I think there were 1 or 2 people that didn't. We have 1. Was there another one? Just 1? 2, yay! So you guys are sitting like right next to each other and you're both wearing red and black, perfect. So yay, wonderful. Excellent, great. So we are here at the awards portion of the morning, yay, woo, woo, woo. We have our WeIntervene People's Choice Awards, and we have our Hidden Gems Recognition Awards. And for our trailblazer, the amazing Natasha Green, to present their winners.
You know what, y'all keep on saying I'm amazing. I think I'm just an average person.
So amazing.
Okay, so I wanted to give y'all the ideology behind doing the awards this year. The reason why I decided to have the Howard Hidden Gems Contest Award this year and just this nomination process was that I wanted to shift the mindset and culture of individuals to learn how to appreciate Howard school counselors. We know we have National School Counseling Week. I mean, it's ASCA, right? It's an American School Council Association. They do it every year, right? But it's like this engagement of understanding that, yes, you have to thank them. Yes, it is okay, and it should be done not only Monday through Friday next week, it should be done every day, right? And so when I decided to do this year, it was based on the mindset of how do I raise awareness? How do I just let the average person know that, hey, thank a school counselor today? And what I've learned, so I try to develop myself. I did the WordPress, it's a WordPress, so I'm a developer too. So not only do I have an archery business, I'm a technologist, and I believe in the power of tech. And so I built the WordPress, and the plugin I used wasn't optimal, right? The plugin was $70, right? Like this event is cost heavy. But I'm gonna tell you I don't mind, because I don't really go shopping for shoes. I don't really go out much to a lot of clubs. Like I don't do a lot of stuff. What I do, I build. I build projects, I build things I care about, I'm an igniter. And so when I decided to have this event for the 4th year, I was like, I'm gonna do my best. I found some bartering going on with some partners, like, hey, could you share? I'll share too, let's barter. You know, I found, no lie. And I'm gonna tell you the story of how I found the scholarships to give the awardees in a second. But this event, the contest was meant to raise awareness, and we did. It had over 2.6K shares. And it had 2.6K shares because of the phenomenal nominees that were on it. And I'm talking about Danielle Lemmerings, I'm talking about Jennifer, I'm talking about Pansy, I'm just talking about all these different school counselors who had a community behind them. So when Hosea tells you the parents, it's the community, it's everyone, right? And so I'm gonna try this contest again. I will do the contest again. And most likely the tool I'll use is probably gonna cost me like $1,000 or $1,500. I mean, y'all could Google it, it's called Award Management Systems. And it just costs a lot. I'm gonna try to ask them just give it for me for free, but I'm gonna advocate. I'm gonna write some people and say, just give it to me for free. The reason why I'm gonna do it again, and I want all y'all can nominate a friend, I don't care. The whole goal was to start raising awareness to the social consciousness of other people, that there is these amazing individuals. And so that being said, how I decided, and I wish, and y'all saw it earlier, but actually I don't know why it's not coming up for me, the website. I was like 2 people from each borough, right? Staten Island only had 1, Angelina. But I then picked the highest one out of Queens, because I wanted to do 10. 10 was the magic number. So Eric Thomas, like Tony said, is one of the best motivational speakers in the world. And I'm actually a part of one of their groups. And I reached out to Carl. I was like, hey, could I get a donation of books from Eric Thomas? So Eric Thomas lives on this idea from, high school dropout, GED, to now he has a doctorate, and he has a multi-million-dollar business, right? They're doing amazing things. The book that I actually got for the school counselors, and you could Google it on Amazon, it's like worth $90, and it's signed by Eric Thomas. So I think it's priceless, just knowing where Eric Thomas is going. School counselors will also get a $100 check. And let me tell you about this check, right? I put out a GoFundMe, I put out a call for action, I reached out to people, I was like, hey, could you support this cause, right? I'm not wealthy. I'm gonna tell you that right now, I'm not wealthy, right? Definitely not wealthy. I work really hard, and there's a lot of stuff still through the pipeline. I think I was telling maybe Hosea, I still have an MTAC, and it's been since September 2018, and I don't even know what the MTAC is gonna do, right? And so I know I invest in people who I believe are gonna make the difference, and that's each one of y'all. And that being said, I reached out to my group. I reached out to like 7,000 people on my email list, no lie. So you could go to Gmail, you could download your old contacts, and if you got one of those emails, I'm sorry, forgive me. But I realized that I needed to start asking for more stuff in order to give back more, if that makes sense to y'all. And so a couple of people just gave the $100. The $100 is actually going right back to the 10 school counselors who were People's Choice. And the people who were nominated, 38 people who were nominated, what I'm giving y'all is basically a gift certificate worth $80 for 2 archery lessons. We're mobile, we're in Brooklyn, and we're in the Bronx. You could actually give it to someone else. And so I would correspond with y'all of how you want to do that. Like that's to you. Right, because this is something I built, right? So that's for everyone who was nominated. Like you're all getting something because someone took the time to basically said you're worth me nominating. And also, what I would do is make sure y'all know they're gonna be sent a PDF of who nominated you. Because some people's like, who nominated me? I'm like, I'll tell you later. Be shocked. So this is the premise behind the contest, and the reason why I learned from some of the awardees that the system needs to be top tiered was because people were going out there galvanizing individuals. They were like another Mike Blake in the making. I was like, 6,000, 8,000, what are these people doing? Students were voting, families were voting. So that being said, I do want the nominees to come up here, the awardees to come up here. I saw Jennifer. I saw Angelina. Yep, come up here. You want to get your bag and your check, because if I keep it, y'all not getting it. Come up here. Give them a round of applause. Okay, so Michael, can you come up here too? I want you to take a picture with the awardees. And only 2 really want to say a couple of words. I would like everyone to say a couple of words. And that's just me coming back down to this idea of each one teach one. We're going to be stronger together. I know I'm a service provider, but I'm a partner, all right? All right, so we're going to take a picture with Michael. I know Jennifer said yay, she'll speak. I think 1 or 2 said that yay, they'll speak. And then Michael's going to give the keynote. All right, so where's best for them to stand? In the middle? In the middle. I like the sign too, bro. Actually, I like the sign. You gotta put the sign somewhere up there. I gotta tell Eric that I took a picture of the sign. Oh, so in the middle? Where's the sign gonna be? No, I'll check the sign. I'll go with y'all, Flo. I'm not a photographer, y'all. I do not place things. This is not what I'm strong with. Do you see the sign there?
Put the sign in the middle.
Yeah. Yes, I'm trying to get more money for us. And then my dad donated, he's right there. My mom donated, she right there. She donated her time. Oh, I mean? No, they're them first. Okay. Oh, me? Okay. Is Michael taller than me? We should do like a line thing, or is this okay?
It's okay.
Okay, good. I gotta do my little towel pose.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, wonderful school counselors. Whoever's gonna speak, I mean, before y'all go, could you each just say your name, what school you're from, and give a shout out to the guests that came with y'all. I really, really believe in that. I'm nothing without my dad, my mom, my friend Tani, like, you know, my friend Q, people, a lot of people, Rhonda, say thank you to them too. So go down the line, and I know you wanna speak, and you said yay. I know you said yay, you emailed me, yay, good. You'll be first, you'll be second, and y'all make a decision if you're gonna speak. Okay, so just introduce yourself, where you're from, introduce yourself, introduce, and one, speaker two, an option.
Hi, I'm Angelina Licata. I'm school counselor at McKee High School in Staten Island. Nobody came with me today, but I do have, which I just saw, an intern that she was at my school, Christina. So she's here, so that's pretty awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, my name is Lisa Monaco. I'm a school counselor at PS 90 in Queens. I brought my mom with me today, who's my best friend and biggest supporter. So thank you, Mom.
Mom, you want a picture with her too? Hey, everyone gets a picture. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Corbo. I'm a school counselor at Williamsburg Preparatory High School. And I'm here today with my assistant principal, Kelly Wachowski, Maria Panagoulias is my co-counselor, and Allison Pickerel, who's an intern at my school.
Hi, my name is Pina Beatanza, and I am a school counselor at PS 186 in Brooklyn. And I have one of my secretaries, Aida Stewart, here, and she's the reason I have a school council position. Thank you.
All right, you're up first, you're up second, and y'all decide. Okay.
Good morning. I'm a school counselor at PS 186 in District 20 in Brooklyn. I am honored to be here to speak about our school and our community events. One event that is very close to our hearts is our fundraiser, Relay for Life, which is a breast cancer, a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness. We have staff members who are currently fighting the fight, and we as a community are actively involved in doing our part to help eradicate this disease. We conduct several fundraisers throughout the school year where we as a community, we come together to raise money for important causes. One fundraiser we are proud to be a part of is Relay for Life. We conduct several activities in which our staff, students, and families are involved. We conduct bake sales, we sell pink bracelets, we sell used books, we do wing eating contest at a local bar in Brooklyn. This coming Monday, we have Jersey Day. You wear your favorite jersey, and every student and staff donates $1. This shows how, as a team, we can make a difference, and we are all in this fight together. I am proud to be a school counselor and to be actively involved in these activities, and equally proud to be part of a wonderful school family. Thank you.
That was great.
Hey, you all. My name, as I mentioned before, is Jennifer Corvo. I'm a bilingual school counselor at Williamsburg Preparatory High School. It is so wonderful to see so many school counselors here today, despite the freezing weather. You made it. Thank you for being such incredible advocates for our students. Natasha, thank you for putting together such an amazing event today. We feel appreciated. Thank you. I'm very honored to be here today. I want to thank my assistant principal, Kelly Wachowski, who nominated my co-counselor, Maria Panagoulias, and myself for this award. We were both fortunate to join a staff at the start of this year with which community was already a strength in the school. I was asked today to speak a little bit about how I built community for myself and the school and for my school. Prior to being in a high school, I worked at a middle school in District 17. My fellow counselors. My first principal from New Heights Middle School, Jessica Luciano Murphy, used to give this advice to our students: treat everyone like they could be your next boss. Although this message was meant for the student, her message stuck with me over the years. Some may interpret her message differently, that the next student in my office might be signing my next paycheck. Perhaps true. I thought of how a boss, as a leader, is a person who I learn from. Extending that then to anyone, an administrator, a secretary, a custodian, a parent, all of our students. Each person has something we can learn from. In addition to being a school counselor, I'm also a site supervisor and house 1 to 3 interns each school year. Some people think that bringing on interns is a lot of work. I believe with a solid foundation about the field and the support of the Counseling Center, interns are actually a true blessing. You would be surprised to see the new initiatives I've added to the Counseling Center thanks to their energy and their ideas. At New Heights, one of my interns suggested that we start a social media presence. Another suggested that we start a student council and have them meet monthly with an administrator. My current intern, Allison Pickerel, who is here today, suggested that we survey and meet with every 9th grader this past fall for 20 minutes and created a data report of how our freshmen are actually transitioning to high school. I am in my 7th year as a school counselor, and I am still a sponge soaking in knowledge about how we can expand the Counseling Center and better support our students. I believe I've developed the community and support that I have today because I never stopped learning, and I never will. I have attended ASCA conferences, NYU workshops, professional development, school counselor conferences, joined every committee my school has to offer, and am constantly collaborating with teachers. I value everyone around me, especially my students. I am a huge advocate for student voice and believe that we need to keep finding mediums for our students to be heard and listened to. Each one of these lessons might seem small, but together the individual blocks form the foundation of the community I seek to build everywhere I go. So my advice to you is the same as what Principal Luciano once shared. Be open wherever you go. You never know where and from whom the next great idea will come from. And when you hear it, be bold. Take that idea, allow for collaboration, and build your community. It might just be what your students need.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You guys are well deserving of those awards and recognition. All right, well, thank you to all our nominees and our winners. It is truly a pleasure and honor to demonstrate that you are appreciated. Now it's almost time to mix and mingle again and eat a little bit more. But before we gather our appetites, please let us welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Michael Batista, a senior administrator at Office of Safety and Youth Development.
Thank you so much. It is truly my honor and privilege to address you today on behalf of the New York City Department of Education's Office of Safety and Youth Development for WeIntervene's 4th annual celebration of school counseling. Our executive director, Jillian Smith, regrets that she was unable to attend today's tremendous event, and sends her warmest regards and best wishes. I must take a moment to personally thank Natasha Green, CEO and founder of WeIntervene. Thank you for all of your efforts to recognize New York City's counselors. For 4 years now, WeIntervene's event has heralded New York City's celebration of National School Counseling Week. It is so important that we take the time to recognize the accomplishments of our adults whose life work is dedicated to serving our students. As you already know, a career in school counseling is a marathon, not a sprint. As you head out to work on the train each day, please know that you are truly one of the real heroes of our city. You are at the very heart of our schools. So I know there are a lot of heroes, champions of the professions. We have many champions of the profession and heroes of the profession here today. So I wanted to highlight some of them. Of course, we have UFT chapter leader for school counselors, Rosemary Thompson. From the Brooklyn North Borough Office, we have Stacey Haley and Denise Lanier. And from the Brooklyn South Borough Office, we have School Counseling Manager Greg Yankovic. Now, I may be biased in my opinion, but I firmly believe the work that you do on behalf of our students and families is the single most important service that our schools can provide. You are the one school community member who is dedicated, first and foremost, to providing our students with ongoing support each school day. On behalf of the New York City Department of Education, we would like to thank each and every one of you for going above and beyond the call of duty to ensure the success of our students and families. We thank you for all that you have done for the individual student who is in crisis, for checking in each day to see that this student was well and focused on school. Today, we celebrate your vision to have students see the trajectory between their daily choices and reaching their personal dreams. We celebrate your tireless efforts to build networks of support with our families and our teachers. You are continually attuned to our students' needs, both in terms of their personal challenges, as well as their strengths, abilities, and interests. Each one of you guides students to see the infinite possibilities within themselves. You have truly made a difference in the lives of young New Yorkers and their families through your exemplary dedication, your talent, and kindness. Please give yourselves a big round of applause. So now it's time to talk about one of my favorite subjects, myself. So today's celebration actually brings me full circle. I happen to be a graduate of St. Francis College, where I majored in psychology. So the last time I was on this stage, it was 1996, and I was in Woody Allen's "Don't Drink the Water." This is true. So I always knew that I wanted to pursue a career of service to help others. I realized that for me, high school counseling was the perfect match because I would be able to help guide my students as they reach a critical time, perhaps the crossroads of their lives. I had watched too many of my peers drop out of school and wondered, what more can our schools do? Each of us could have chosen 1,000 different professions, but we all chose the same one for very similar reasons. So I ask you today to remember, why did you choose to enter into the profession of school counseling? Please take a few moments, find one partner, and turn and talk. Why did you choose school counseling as your profession? All right, so let's reconvene. Okay, so as you recall your personal inspiration for choosing school counseling as your profession, please recognize your own personal resilience and vigilance. You have never lost sight of your goal to help our students. Today, you are actually the embodiment, the self-actualization of your own vision and dreams. And in your journey, your path of individuation, if you will, you continually help our students to realize their own future goals and to reach towards the fulfillment of their dreams. So at this time, I would also like to ask you to think about one student who may have needed you the most of all this year. Perhaps it was a student who was in crisis and who was in jeopardy of slipping through the proverbial cracks. Please take a few moments and turn and talk once again with your partner. Who was the one student that you think needed you the most this year, and why? Okay, let's reconvene once more. So at the end of the day, it is all about the individual student, helping the individual student to stay on the path to continually pursue their potential. And as this young person thinks back on his or her own school experience, this student will remember you, your support and guidance at a critical time in life. And as Maya Angelou once said, people will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Thank you. Now, as you already know, next week, February 4th to February 8th, is the American School Counselor Association National School Counseling Week. So make sure to take time this weekend in the bitter cold to do something special for yourself. Perhaps buy yourself an expensive gift, or have your own mini celebration with family and friends. Because self-care is critical for you to be your very best each day. So I know that I have stood between you and lunchtime refreshments for long enough. So please enjoy lunch and the remainder of today's activities. I join in congratulating all of our award recipients, all of our school counselor award recipients today. And once again, special thanks to Natasha Green and her amazing team at WeIntervene for making this celebration possible. Thank you all.
Thank you, Michael Batista. Appreciate it. Again, thank you all once again for a successful WeIntervene 4th annual celebration of school counselors. I would like to bring up Natasha Green, our trailblazer, an amazing woman, to close out the event.
All right, so y'all amazing. Yeah, just your time. I really appreciate your folks. Mommy, come up here. I know Mommy can't wait to give y'all some important knowledge. She's just like, yes, I want to talk to them about it. So let my mommy say something.
Hello, thanks for coming. I appreciate you guys. I don't know if you have heard, some time ago, there was a New York Times report that the prison system, to pay for prisons in the South, in order to know how many cells to build, look at the results of the 4th grade test. And the amount of boys, especially that fail, they know there's a pay when they graduate from, say, junior high, so that the amount of cells they have to make. So reading is very important. And there's a site that I want you all to go to and get these books. It's blackboysread.com. Blackboysread.com. It gives you a list of books for colored children that they say all black kids should read. Reading is fundamental. Reading is very important. I have one boy, he was the first, his name is Philip, and 2 girls, twins. And I can tell you from my experience that I'm a working mom. And I live in the Bronx. And my job was in Manhattan. And when I get home at night, I was very tired. But I've learned that, I read this book, and to make your kids a genius, and to read for them. So when I came home at night, no care how tired I was, we went to bed, and I always read them a book. So my son Philip had no problem reading. He always read. He was doing English and stuff. He was in the highest 99% percentile or whatever they call it. And in the summertime, they gave him a list of books to read. He always read them. He was the one who read Nadia, just about by C.S. Lewis, and he always went in summertime to the library and read the books. Also, ask the parents to get books for the kids, because when they have these books, to encourage them. Let them go to the dollar store, 99 cents. They have some good books for 99 cents for kids. They have some history books about American history for 99 cents. So no parents can tell you that they cannot afford it, especially black parents who can afford to buy their sneakers for $100 or whatever. 99 cents. So let them go to the dollar store and build up a thing. So black boys read. And one more thing, and I don't know. Philip, oh, my son? That's his dad. My son, I didn't know, went to Bronx High School of Science.
Why?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he went to, after that, he had messed up. And, yes, he really, in the last, I'm telling you the truth. Because this guy is very smart. I don't know where he came from. But he messed up in his final year and didn't go get a scholarship to go to one of those big schools. So I tell him, I'm not going to be paying for you. I'm not going to co-sign anything. So you have to go get something to get to college. And so he went to SUNY New Paltz. And he went and joined when he was 17. Is that enough to sign? He went and joined the reserve. So he could get money to go to college. And college, he did, soon in Newport, he did 2 major in business and a major in something else, but he got double major. Yes, that is right. Double major. And after he graduated, he went to Darden and he got 2 again. Business is administration and some 2. So now he is working he used to work for IBM, but he said, you know, he has security clearance, but he's in the armed reserve. So now he's a contractor for the government and he's into green powered. Okay, so he's doing pretty well. So I can tell you that reading is very good. It tells kids about career. I know there are so many careers coming on. I don't know if you watch, one of my favorite stations is PBS, Public Broadcasting Corporation. I'm going to finish, bro. But I don't know if you listen, but you know PBS, Channel 13 or Channel 21, last year they published 100 great books. I don't know if you had seen it, but they did. And the book, and they had a contest, and the book that won, I wish you know, on Broadway, To Kill a Mockingbird. If you haven't read that book, please read it. It will help you to become aware of what was happening in the South then. And Black History Month is coming in. You're going to see a lot of things on the thing. PBS, encourage your students to, you know, to look at PBS of all these Black History things and to read books about Black history. Yeah. I've called Black History is very not for February, but for all through the year. And Africa, from Africa, you know, great kings and queens. First civilization was Africa. Have a good day.
That's my moment. And just to close off, 2 things. So I did write 2 of the quotes that I thought about. The one that I wrote, "Thank you for all you do." I actually thought about that last week, how the power of one should never be underestimated and the power of you should never be undermined, right? And I hashtag you got this, you know, like my social media stuff. I have 3 asks before I let y'all go. One ask is to ensure that we don't forget who we met today. Also, like how to make sure that what y'all came here looking for, that you got from someone else. Either it's from Michael having y'all talk to each other, continue that conversation. Either was it from our speakers speaking earlier about the different ways that you navigate our students through life, do that. And lastly, well, now move 2 more things. And that index card, I want to create something to help you. Like, sometimes I don't know what it is. But what I do know, the community that we form, you all in attendance, I don't know if y'all realize this, I think I'm sort of smart. So whatever way I use my resources, I'll do it. Lastly, if you want to donate, you could donate. Actually, that donation is going towards, at the end, it's going towards, I'm thinking of having someone build out an automatic newsletter for y'all. So whatever y'all want to put in a newsletter, you'll be able to click on the newsletter and it automatically sends in the back end. And so it's your newsletter. It's not going to be curated, really. I mean, as long as I put no curses on it, but it will be something that you could create and automatically I can send out. I don't care if 50 people submit, 2 people. So I'm gonna work on my side of being consistent, and the only thing I ask on your side is to show up to the conferences like Jennifer says, to show up for one another. And that being said, go eat, go have fun, and ping me. Yeah, I tell them the donation is in the ground thing. Feel free to donate, but you don't have to. I celebrate you. Take care, y'all, enjoy yourself. I'm around.
Thanks for coming.